In Hollywood's bright history, some famous people have faced dark and difficult moments that changed their lives and careers forever. From sad accidents to big court battles, these events happened right in front of the public, showing that even the most glamorous lives can have dark sides. In today's video, we'll look at the hidden stories of actors, musicians, and other public figures from around the world who went through tragic or shocking events. These stories show that fame cannot protect anyone from life's unexpected twists. Let's explore the details behind these difficult moments. Roscoe Arbuckle. Roscoe Arbuckle, a beloved silent film actor famed for roles in comedies like Coney Island, 1917, found himself at the center of Hollywood's first major scandal in 1921. During a weekend party at the St. Francis Hotel in San Francisco, actress Virginia Rappe fell seriously ill and later passed away from her injuries. Arbuckle was accused of assaulting Rappe, with the media painting him as a villain despite a lack of evidence. The scandal became a media circus, casting a shadow over Arbuckle's career and forever associating him with the tragedy. Arbuckle's case went to trial 3 times. The first 2 trials resulted in hung juries, while the third finally ended with an acquittal. The jury even issued a public apology stating Arbuckle was innocent and that no crime had occurred. However, the scandal's relentless media coverage had already shattered Arbuckle's career. Banned from working in Hollywood for years, he struggled to reclaim his former status, despite his eventual return under a pseudonym. Arbuckle's case stands as a haunting reminder of how public perception, shaped by sensational media, can forever alter a celebrity's life, even when legally cleared. Leadbelly. Leadbelly, born on January 20, 1888, was a pioneering figure in American blues and folk music, celebrated for his deeply expressive voice and memorable songs, including Goodnight Irene. His life took a dramatic turn in 1918 when he was sentenced to 35 years in prison for a fatal altercation involving a family member. Despite the gravity of his conviction, Leadbelly's musical talent became his path to freedom. While incarcerated, Leadbelly's performances caught the attention of visitors and prison officials, who were captivated by his unique voice and original songs. His music resonated so powerfully that, after just 2 years, he was granted an early release. This remarkable turn of events set him on a path to becoming one of America's most influential folk musicians. Leadbelly went on to record numerous songs that shaped the American music landscape and inspired later legends like Bob Dylan, Johnny Cash, and Kurt Cobain. His story and music continue to resonate, symbolizing the resilience and power of artistic expression. Paul Kelly. Paul Kelly, a prominent American actor known for his work in silent and sound films such as Flying Tigers, faced a dark chapter in his life in 1927. Kelly was involved in a violent confrontation with fellow actor Ray Raymond, reportedly over Kelly's relationship with Raymond's wife, actress Dorothy McKay. The altercation ended with Raymond's death, and Kelly was convicted of manslaughter. Sentenced to San Quentin, he served just over 2 years before his release. Despite the tragic incident, Kelly was able to rebuild his career, returning to Hollywood and securing roles in several acclaimed films. His talent and professionalism eventually earned him a place in the industry, although the incident cast a lasting shadow on his legacy. Kelly's story remains a compelling reminder of Hollywood's early scandals and the complexities of personal lives behind the silver screen. Adlai Stevenson. Adlai Stevenson, who would later serve as Illinois governor and become a prominent U.S. presidential candidate, experienced a tragic event early in life that left a lasting emotional impact. In 1912, at age 12, Stevenson was handling a shotgun he believed to be unloaded. Tragically, the gun discharged accidentally, taking the life of his 16-year-old friend Ruth Merwin. This heartbreaking accident deeply affected him, remaining a somber memory throughout his life. Despite this early tragedy, Stevenson went on to become a highly respected figure in American politics. Known for his eloquence, wit, and dedication to public service, he served as U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations and ran twice for president. His lifelong commitment to diplomacy and progressive values earned him admiration both domestically and internationally, making him one of the most influential statesmen of his time. Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes, an iconic film producer, aviation pioneer, and billionaire, led a life filled with both incredible achievements and haunting controversies. On July 11, 1936, Hughes was involved in a tragic car accident in Los Angeles. While driving through a residential area, he accidentally struck and fatally injured Gabriel S. Meyer, a pedestrian. The incident weighed heavily on Hughes, though he was ultimately not charged as the accident was deemed unintentional. Despite this tragedy, Hughes continued to rise as a visionary in both Hollywood and aviation. He produced groundbreaking films, including Hell's Angels and Scarface, and set world records in aviation, famously piloting his own aircraft. Later in life, however, his eccentricity and reclusiveness grew, with public attention shifting to his increasingly erratic behavior. Hughes's legacy is remembered as one of innovation and immense influence, though punctuated by personal struggles and controversies. His story remains a complex portrait of a genius caught between brilliance and inner turmoil. John Huston. John Huston, the legendary filmmaker and actor known for directing classics like The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, encountered a life-altering tragedy early in his life. On September 25, 1933, before his directing career had begun, Huston was involved in a car accident in which he accidentally struck and killed a female pedestrian. Deeply shaken by the incident, Huston grappled with the emotional toll it took on him, but he was ultimately cleared of wrongdoing as it was determined to be unintentional. Despite this tragic beginning, Huston went on to carve out an extraordinary career in Hollywood. Known for his distinctive storytelling style and cinematic vision, he directed a string of acclaimed films, winning an Academy Award and leaving an enduring legacy in film. The accident remained a solemn chapter in his life, adding depth to the complex character of one of Hollywood's most celebrated directors. Spade Cooley. Spade Cooley, once a beloved Western swing musician and bandleader, became infamous for a shocking crime on April 3, 1961. Known for his energetic performances and popularity in the 1940s and 1950s, Cooley's career took a devastating turn when he was convicted of the brutal murder of his second wife, Ella Mae Cooley. In a tragic incident reportedly witnessed by their children, Cooley attacked Ella Mae during a violent outburst, ending her life. Cooley's trial gripped the public, shattering the image of the once celebrated musician. Convicted and sentenced to life in prison, he served time at Vacaville State Prison in California. While on a temporary release in 1969 to perform at a benefit concert, Cooley suffered a fatal heart attack. His tragic fall from grace cast a dark shadow over his music legacy, leaving a haunting reminder of how fame can sometimes hide inner turmoil and violence. Gig Young. Academy Award-winning actor Gig Young, celebrated for his powerful performance in They Shoot Horses, Don't They?, faced a tragic and dark ending on October 19, 1978. Known for his charm and success on screen, Young's life behind the scenes was marred by personal struggles and addiction. These issues culminated in a shocking event when, shortly after marrying his fifth wife, Kim Schmidt, Young fatally shot her in their New York apartment before turning the gun on himself. Young's tragic story highlighted the toll that addiction and personal turmoil can take, even on those who appear successful and charismatic in the public eye. Despite his professional achievements and talent, his personal life was a turbulent journey, ultimately ending in heartbreak. His death serves as a solemn reminder of the struggles that can lie behind fame and acclaim, casting a shadow over an otherwise celebrated career. William S. Burroughs. William S. Burroughs, the influential American writer and key figure of the Beat generation, was involved in a devastating incident on September 6, 1951. While in Mexico City, Burroughs and his wife Joan Vollmer attempted a risky William Tell game, where Burroughs aimed to shoot a glass off her head. Tragically, the attempt went fatally wrong, and Vollmer lost her life. The incident left Burroughs devastated, impacting him deeply and influencing much of his later work. Although he faced manslaughter charges, Burroughs was able to avoid a prison sentence by fleeing Mexico. This tragic moment haunted him, and he would later reflect that it motivated him to pursue writing more seriously, giving rise to works that defined his career, such as Naked Lunch. Burroughs became an iconic figure in literature, known for his dark, boundary-pushing narratives and unique voice. But his life and work were forever marked by this tragic accident. Joe Meek. Joe Meek, the groundbreaking English songwriter and music producer, left a lasting legacy in the music industry with his innovative recording techniques and unique sound. However, his life took a dark turn, ending in tragedy on February 3, 1967. Known for hits like Telstar and his work with pioneering electronic music, Meek was also plagued by severe mental health struggles, mounting financial debts, and drug dependency. On that fateful day, overwhelmed by his personal battles, Meek fatally harmed his landlady, Violet Shenton, during an apparent breakdown before taking his own life shortly afterward. The incident shocked the music community, as Meek was widely recognized as one of the most inventive minds in British pop. Though his life ended in sorrow, Joe Meek's legacy lives on through his contributions to sound engineering and production, influencing artists and producers for generations. Robert Sorrells. Robert Sorrells, an American actor with appearances in films like Fletch, 1985, faced a tragic and violent incident later in life that led to his permanent departure from the screen. On July 24, 2004, in a Simi Valley bar, Sorrells unexpectedly attacked two patrons, fatally shooting Arthur DeLong and injuring Edward Sanchez. The motive behind the attack remains unclear, but witnesses described Sorrells as acting erratically. In 2005, Sorrells was convicted and sentenced to 32 years to life in the California Department of Corrections, effectively ending his acting career. Known for his numerous television and film roles, Sorrells' life took a dramatic downturn, and he spent his remaining years incarcerated. His story stands as a sobering example of how unexpected actions can overshadow a lifetime of work in the public eye. Don King. Don King, the iconic boxing promoter, is known for his incredible influence in boxing, but also faced a dark past. In 1954, King fatally shot Hillary Garrett during a robbery attempt on one of his gambling establishments. Later, in 1966, he was convicted of killing Sam Garrett, allegedly due to a financial dispute. Despite these incidents, King went on to shape the boxing industry, promoting some of the sport's biggest names. Ted Kennedy. Ted Kennedy, former senator from Massachusetts, was involved in a tragic accident on July 18, 1969, known as the Chappaquiddick incident. While driving over a bridge, his car veered off into the water, resulting in the death of his passenger, Mary Jo Kopechne, a secretary who had worked with Kennedy's late brother. Speculations arose about whether alcohol was involved, but no definitive proof was presented. The incident impacted Kennedy's political career. Robert Blake. Robert Blake, an American actor known for his role in Lost Highway, 1997, faced significant legal troubles in 2002 when he was accused of being involved in the tragic death of his wife, Bonnie Lee Backley. Though he was initially arrested, Blake was eventually acquitted in a criminal trial, but later found liable in a civil case. The high-profile case marked a dramatic turn in his life and career. Charles Manson. Charles Manson, leader of the Manson family, orchestrated a series of brutal murders in 1969, intending to spark an apocalyptic race war. His followers, under his influence, killed actress Sharon Tate and 4 others on August 8-9 in her home, followed by the LaBianca murders the next day. Manson, although not physically present, manipulated his followers into carrying out these acts. His twisted philosophy of helter-skelter and manipulative hold over his family stunned the world, with the trial revealing bizarre details about Manson's psychological control. Convicted of conspiracy and murder, he was sentenced to life in prison, where he remained until his death in 2018. Manson's crimes symbolized the dark side of the 1960s counterculture, leaving a lasting impact on American culture. Fay DeWitt. Fay DeWitt, known for her role in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, 2016, was involved in a tragic incident in 1965. She was accused of fatally stabbing her husband, playwright Ray Allen, using a leather opener. Although DeWitt faced legal challenges, she continued her acting career, which spans several decades and includes appearances in both film and television. Phil Spector. Phil Spector, the famed music producer, was involved in the death of actress Lana Clarkson on February 3, 2003. Known for his wall of sound production technique, Spector's personal life was marked by reclusiveness and eccentric behavior. Clarkson was found dead in Spector's mansion with a gunshot wound to her mouth. Spector initially claimed her death was accidental, but forensic evidence suggested otherwise. The trial included testimonies about Spector's history of violent behavior, painting a disturbing portrait of his character. In 2009, Spector was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 19 years to life. His case revealed the intersection of genius and personal instability, impacting public views on celebrity accountability. Claudine Longet. Claudine Longet, a French singer and actress famous for The Party, 1968, faced a dark chapter in her life on March 21, 1976. She was arrested for fatally injuring her boyfriend, Olympic skier Vladimir "Spider" Sabich, in what was alleged to be an accidental shooting. Though some evidence, including traces of cocaine, added to the case's complexity, Longet received a light sentence. Since then, she has largely remained out of the public eye. Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon, a prominent session drummer from the 1960s and 1970s who worked on tracks like those in Goodfellas, 1990, faced a tragic event on June 3, 1983. During a psychotic episode related to undiagnosed schizophrenia, he took the life of his mother. Gordon was sentenced in 1984 and has had multiple parole requests denied, with mental health struggles continuing to impact his life behind bars. Keith Moon. Keith Moon, the charismatic drummer of The Who, was involved in a tragic accident on January 4, 1970, when he accidentally ran over and killed his friend and bodyguard, Neil Boland. While trying to escape an aggressive crowd surrounding his car, Moon, under the influence, lost control, leading to Boland's tragic death. Moon was devastated and struggled with guilt, which exacerbated his struggles with addiction. This incident marked a turning point in his life, revealing the darker, more vulnerable side of a rock star. Moon's life spiraled downward, and he died in 1978 at the age of 32. His story remains a reminder of the toll fame and substance abuse can take on personal lives. Laura Bush. Laura Bush, the 43rd First Lady of the United States, was involved in a heartbreaking incident on November 6, 1963, when she was a teenager. She was driving when she struck another car, resulting in the tragic death of her friend and classmate, Michael Dutton Douglas. Although unintentional, this early incident marked Bush's life, and she went on to become a dedicated advocate for education and literacy. Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney, the American politician and former presidential candidate, faced a life-threatening accident on June 16, 1968, while on a mission trip in France. As he drove a Citroen with 5 other Mormons, their vehicle was hit head-on by a Mercedes, leading to severe injuries and the tragic death of the mission president's wife. Romney, who was not at fault, suffered multiple injuries but recovered and continued his journey into public service. O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson, a former football star and actor, was charged with the murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ronald Goldman on June 12, 1994. The case began with a dramatic, televised police chase where Simpson, in a white Ford Bronco, fled authorities, watched live by millions. Simpson was later arrested, and his trial, often called the trial of the century, captured global attention. Key evidence, including a bloody glove and DNA samples, pointed to Simpson, but issues surrounding race, police conduct, and the prosecution's handling of evidence made the trial controversial. On October 3, 1995, Simpson was acquitted, leading to public debate on racial tensions and the effectiveness of the justice system. Later, in a civil trial, he was found liable for wrongful deaths and ordered to pay $33.5 million in damages. The case remains one of the most polarizing in American history. Bobby Beausoleil. Bobby Beausoleil, an actor and musician, became infamous as a member of Charles Manson's family. On July 27, 1969, he was convicted for the fatal stabbing of music teacher Gary Hinman, an act reportedly driven by a financial dispute involving the Manson group. Beausoleil has been in prison ever since, and his life remains intertwined with the dark legacy of Manson's influence. Issei Sagawa. Issei Sagawa, a Japanese writer and occasional actor, became notorious for a shocking crime in 1981. While studying in France, he invited fellow student Renée Hartevelt to his apartment. There, he fatally harmed her and later confessed to cannibalizing her. French authorities declared Sagawa legally insane and deported him to Japan, where he was released due to legal complications. Back in Japan, Sagawa gained minor celebrity status, publishing books and appearing in media, often recounting his crime. His case remains highly controversial, sparking debates on mental health, justice, and media sensationalism. Caitlyn Jenner. In February 2015, Caitlyn Jenner was involved in a multi-vehicle accident on the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu, resulting in the death of Kim Howe, an animal rights activist. Jenner's SUV collided with Howe's car, pushing it into oncoming traffic where it was struck again. The accident became a media sensation, partly due to Jenner's celebrity status and public transition, sparking debate on road safety and responsibility. Jenner was not criminally charged, but the victim's family filed a lawsuit, and insurance companies sought compensation. The incident highlighted the intense scrutiny celebrities face and raised questions about responsibility in fatal accidents. John Landis. Director John Landis faced legal challenges after a fatal accident on the set of Twilight Zone, the movie, on July 23, 1982. During filming, a helicopter crash resulted in the deaths of actor Vic Morrow and two child actors, Micah Dean Lay and Renee Shin-Yi Chen. The helicopter was flying low for a nighttime scene when special effects explosions caused it to crash. Landis and 4 others were charged with involuntary manslaughter, marking one of Hollywood's first criminal trials for on-set fatalities. Though they were acquitted, the tragedy led to significant changes in Hollywood safety protocols, particularly regarding child labor laws and special effects regulations. The incident is remembered as one of the darkest moments in Hollywood production history.